Tony Stewart, the race leader, coming around to complete lap 121 of 188 here at Talladega. 25 cars on the lead lap, 2.8 seconds from first to 24th. Stewart, Jamie McMurray, Ryan Newman, Sterling Marlin.
Every time that 17 car, Matt Kenseth, goes through 1 and 2, he hits that bump, and the left front tire rubs the fender and puts on a puff of smoke.
Been a tough day for several drivers here at Talladega. A big one. We've had a couple of them. And naturally, when you race here, some guys love it and some guys don't. Here are some of the driver reactions from guys that are, well, basically out of the picture today.
I just want to say one thing. The fans are the only one that can do anything about this. No one else can. The drivers can, the owners can, and NASCAR's not going to do anything about it. So, you know, I doubt the fans can either, but they can sure try.
I think it's in the driver's hands. I mean, we're the only ones that can really prevent our front bumper from driving the back bumper of the car in front of us.
I'm going to tell you something. If they don't calm down, that won't be the last one. Everybody's driving 20 feet over their head and doing a lot of stupid stuff. And everybody needs to catch their breath. If not, it won't be the last one.
So the rules put the drivers in this situation where you have to run around here in a huge pack. And those are some of the reactions from some of the guys.
The restrictor plate that you showed the fans in the pre-race show today, Bill, it reduces the horsepower. It cuts the horsepower in half. It goes from 900 or 800 to around 450 horsepower. So no one can get away from anybody. You don't have power to drive away from someone. If they took that restrictor plate off, these cars would run 220 miles per hour, which is way too unsafe. So this is result. And Mark Martin, he said the fans are the only people that can do anything about it. He's evidently talking about the fans lobbying the racetracks to change the rules, or they'll quit buying tickets.
Right.
And I think the fans love this kind of racing.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I think the fans do like it. It's exciting racing. And I like what Jeff Gordon said. I mean, it's in the driver's hands. I mean, you don't have to drive like an idiot. You know, you can avoid trouble if you just use your head. And a lot of this stuff that happened today started at way too early. Normally this happens, but it doesn't happen until you start really racing for positions and it gets towards the end of the race. It's been since the green flag dropped.
Do you think Gordon was also alluding to how much work they've done on the front end of these cars to strengthen them as well?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, you know, BP brought up the point earlier that you take those bumpers away, front and back, they're not going to be pounding on each other. But this is the way this racing is set up. You have to be defensive. You have to mirror drive. You have to beat the guy's bumper in front of you to get anywhere, and it gets ugly.
Marty?
Well, you guys talk about reinforcing these front bumpers. This is the backup bumper for Matt Kenseth, if you will. There's a big bar right here in the front of it. They put in extra. And this piece of steel goes all the way through the front of the bumper to protect the front bumper in case they make contact with anyone. That is reinforcing the bumper. This is a big piece of steel they have in the front of this race car.
And they really brace up behind that, Marty. I mean, that's just some of it. But the really strong brace pieces are on the car, such as the back of Greg Biffle's car, BP.
See, this bumper, this piece of steel on the back, that's for the rear bumper on the 16 car, but they have something not that strong, but something similar to that behind the front bumper, so they can go up and hit someone and not damage the front bumper.
Tony Stewart's front bumper is in front of everybody at Talladega. Jamie McMurray and the rest of the field chasing smoke. Got tickets for all those folks. Right at the start-finish line. Just kidding. We are under caution. Debris in turn 3. A simple debris caution.
Yeah.
And they're coming to pit road.
No big crash. Now then, what they do this pit stop really sets up because they're only going to they only have to make one more stop after this.
I would say 4.
I say most cars will change 4, and that last stop definitely 2 tires.
You have to assume the next stop's going to come under green, so you want to do as much work as you can under caution.
You always set it up for, you know, coming in under green for the last pit stop.
Right. All right, Marty.
Bill, that's exactly the strategy for Jamie McMurray's team. Take 4 tires now so that later in the race, because that pit stop could be under green, we'll take 2 tires at that point. McMurray said his car is very good, just not as good as Tony Stewart's car. A little too loose, so they're going to take a half pound out of the right rear tire. and that's it. Matt?
Stewart eased into his pit box as to not flat spot the left side tires. He's full of fuel and away. Dave.
And Newman will take 2 tires. No adjustments to the car. It was pretty slick that time, he said, in a good way. AB?
Dale Jarrett said he fell back during that last run because he lost the nose for a minute, then got it back, said the car's really pretty good. They'll take 4 tires. He said, I'm still just riding. Well, I'm surprised at some of that strategy.
Yeah.
I am too.
I am too. I really am shocked that a lot of these guys did not change Ford.
Dale Jarrett's going to drive the truck. Right now he's driving his Ford, trying to get to the front at Talladega.